Last week, I asked my followers on Instagram if they felt like they were judged when they were speaking French to people, and 90% of them said yes. So I reached out to each of them and I asked if they actually got a comment or a negative response, or if people were actually judging them or making fun of them when they spoke French. And they said no. A lot of them are actually imagining fears, creating problems before they actually speak the language. So it prevents them from speaking the language because they think that people will make fun of them, people will judge them, they will not understand them. So at the end, they don't speak because they're scared of that. It happened to me also when I was trying to learn English, to speak English with locals. And I would not speak at first because I was also creating my own like fears and barriers that did not even exist. And I realized that people never really made fun of me. People really, they were trying to understand what I wanted to say. They were trying to help me in like expressing myself, but they never really looked at me like, who is she and why is she trying to speak a language she doesn't know? They never said anything like this. They never looked at me in that way. But they definitely tried to understand what I wanted to say, what I wanted to ask, and they maybe suggested sometimes some words or tried to finish my sentences, but it was never in a mean way. So if you ever think that people will judge you, make fun of you, criticize you because you are trying to speak French or another language, but we're gonna talk about French today, then think for a few minutes. Is it true? Are they gonna actually make fun of me? Or is it in my head? Am I creating some fears that don't even exist, that are not even proved right? Am I trying to stop myself from speaking the language? For what reason? If you really want to speak this language, just go for it. If someone criticizes you, then maybe think that this is the way I think. If someone criticizes me with my English, that's okay. They are allowed to criticize if they want to criticize. But in my head, I think, does this person speak French fluently? If they don't, they're not allowed to criticize me. If they only speak one language and they never try to speak a second language, then I do not accept this criticism, And people will not criticize you if they've been through learning a second language. They will actually help you, give you tips, or they will help you to speak better. They will give you tips, but they will never be like, oh, you speak French, like your French is terrible. Because we know, as people learning a second language, especially on our own, not a language that our parents might speak, that they taught us when we were kids, but people will know how hard it is, how intimidating that is, and how frustrating it can be. So why would we criticize you? Think about that. Tell me what you think. If you ever got some criticism, just tell me in the comments and maybe we can see what you can do next time if it happens. Or maybe we can talk about how to not get stuck before speaking.